I was wondering.
Look. Okay. It's interesting. First of all, welcome to it. This is the legendary Friday nights of the Nerd-O-Roundtable, episode 1075. 1075.
Wow.
1075. Big
Wow.
big episode, big things are happening. I am at the station again, and you would think, hey, at the radio station, man, the internet, the equipment, everything must be stellar. But guess what? It's a little laggy, maybe because there's a lot of folks up here. So I'm gonna do my best to get through this. I want to say happy Back to the Future Day to all watching. Today is officially Back to the
Hey.
Future Day. It was in 2015 that Marty and Jennifer and Doc McFly flew to the future to try to stop all types of calamity from happening. Did the Cubbies actually win? Did that prediction come true? I can't remember.
The Cubbies did win, but it wasn't.
It wasn't in 20 whatever.
No, it wasn't in
2015.
2015.
Oh man! All right. Well, look, they were close. They were close enough. We still don't have our hoverboards. Flying cars are on the way. There is a Suzuki company that is partnering with a aerotech company to develop flying cars. Flying taxis will be coming to Southern California within, I believe, it's the next 2 years. They have already got the grant and all that. So, look, a lot of things are happening. I love everything about Back to the Future. For me, it's out of control. Today, there are two main things to hit on this 1075th episode. Thing number one, and believe it or not, I can't believe how excited I am for this. Anthony from Two Cubicles Down, how are you doing, sir?
Oh, I'm surviving on such a great day like today.
That is what the dealie is. Dr. Liz from the Freeway, what is up, home girl?
I am well, everyone.
Ryan Twitch Master McBain.
There must be something wrong with me because I actually like a DC movie. It's crazy.
I know what the fuck is happening in the world. Tom is talking Cunningham. How are you feeling, good sir?
I am feeling great, especially because it is here.
Oh, see, I'm so damn hyped for this. We have quite possibly one of the most epic unveilings to ever happen on any Nerdcast ever. First and foremost, though, as Ryan has indicated, the impossible has happened. Now, I'm gonna say it is everything to do with The Rock. The Rock doesn't fuck around when it comes to making movies that are fun. He may never win an Oscar for anything that he does.
He will not.
He will win all the MTV movie awards in the world. He may win all types of fan awards, but he's not getting no Emmys. He's not getting no Oscars. Not. No. But this dude knows how to make a fucking movie that you will enjoy. And I'm here to tell you that Black Adam won for me on every cylinder except for one. I'll get to the one that bothered the shit out of me. But Black Adam for me was a fucking treat. Man, The Rock is Black Adam. Aldous Hodge is Hawkman. Pierce Brosnan killed it as Dr. Fate. The other two actors, who in this shit were dope. Noah Centineo and Homegirl as Cyclone.
So
shit was
pretty
great for me. Like it's just the film was shot well. Yo, I'm just tripping because I'm like, I did not walk out that theater like, man, once again, fucking DC. I walked out of there like, I would actually watch this again. I'd watch another Black Adam movie again. Dr. Liz, what were your thoughts on Black Adam?
Oh my gosh. First of all, I was stunned at how I could look to my left and my right, and I was with no one. And I do think that it is so unfortunate that we have had so many subpar or crapola DC films that they have squandered any type of goodwill. So then even The Rock should have at least sold out at least 50% of theaters on the opening night, but that couldn't even get butts in seats. And I really loved the message that they were trying to imply underneath it. I loved the film as a whole. I thought the story was nicely tight and made sense throughout. The after credit scene, the crowd went berserk, and I just was excited overall, and yet bummed that like I said, that I may not too many people go out and watch it. I do feel like the movie was a little too long. And I was like, okay, we can wrap this up. But I also was like, okay, fine. I did still like the ending and it was okay. But one little criticism, and this is kind of the thing about DC and Marvel anyway, they borrow off of each other, but the level of borrowing off of it was a bit much to me. But, you know, borrowing off of different Marvel films was a bit much. But I've even still, it was pleasant, enjoyable, loved it. Think everyone should see it in theaters for sure.
All right. Yeah, Anthony, you still haven't seen it yet, right?
No, I have not seen it yet.
So I'm going to jump in and say I do agree that DC has screwed the pooch on their own brand. But let's be equally clear. Jungle Cruise, Skyscraper, Rampage, and Hobbs and Shaw didn't do the rock.
Hey, look, man,
so I will say the thing that really stood out to me is that he was credited as a producer and not an executive producer. He was credited as a producer, and that's something that is not unknown for a star, a box office star of his magnitude. But it is informed by the fact that this has been a passion project of his for a decade. And that's what I felt in this. I felt the respect for the character, the respect for how the character started and how he wanted to position the character. Because, you know, really, when you think about it from a box office perspective, maybe Ben Affleck, but I'm not even sure Ben Affleck, The Rock has generated more revenue and more recent revenue than anybody else in the franchise, outside of the franchise. So he's really kind of a big part of the DCEU right now. And he clearly wanted to position himself as a person, as a character that was going to be leading kind of, if we call all that bullshit that happened before phase 1 of the DCEU, he clearly wants to position himself as an important part of, let's call, phase 2, or what could have been Flashpoint, or what might be, you know, the new direction of the DCEU, centered around the notion of what he proved to be able to do in this movie, which was connect with other franchises. So once again, we have the Nick Fury of the DCEU in the form of Waller, and she is brought in because there's another threat. And outside of the Suicide Squad, the Justice Society has apparently been existing in the DC universe for long enough for Amanda Waller to be kind of in charge and sending directions to them. And so there's that connection. And then the infamous post-credit scene, which I'm not going to spoil right now because it's super important to spoil it later in the show, but that was a direct connection. And we saw these things where they proved you don't have to have everything absolutely lockstep, but by having pieces of this universe creep into this film, they did a much better integration than they did really in any of the other solo films. You set the last Wonder Woman, you know, 3 decades ago, which was, I mean, that's execrable on its own standpoint. But in this movie, even though it starts, when it starts 5,000 years in the past, by the time it comes to where the action is, we get a sense of what's going on. And very wisely, since it all takes place within this one piece of world called Kahndaq, and they do an exposition dump where they explain that nobody has interfered in Kahndaq. despite the fact that Intergang, which is a notorious international crime syndicate, has basically taken over this country. Nobody else is
interdimensional.
Yeah, they're everything.
The Intergang drop is very, very dope.
That
ties back into Apocalypse.
Yep.
You have Homegirl from the whatchamacallit series from Peacemaker, who we last saw her, and she was kind of put in charge of Argus. So now she's running the Argus Black site. I thought that was a dope nod to the overall universe. You made direct connections to Shazam. You didn't ignore the Shazam connection. You brought in
Han too.
So stuff like that is like, I'm like, yo, you guys are acknowledging this film's presence in the DCEU. You're not ignoring it. Of course, the end credit just is one of those things where you go, okay, The Rock took this assignment serious for everything that he could do within the confines of making the DC film. He took this serious. He was like, I'm not playing. The Rock was bona fide in this film. To me, he was Hobbs with superpowers, and that's what I wanted. I wanted badass Rock with powers, not giving a flying fuck. I wanted people dying with no disregard, because he's like, I told you to move, you didn't fucking move, you're dead. I'm down with that. That type of anti-hero is what I was looking for. Ryan, what were your thoughts?
The best way to describe my emotions during the film is like, if you ever watch like an old school like kung fu flick, and the master is training the pupil, and the pupil keeps fucking up over and over and over again until finally the pupil does something not great but good, and the kung fu master goes, yes. That's how I felt through watching this movie. I was like, yeah, it's okay. Yes. You're not there yet, but yeah.
You have not embarrassed yourself.
Look, it didn't make you angry as you kept watching.
It did not make me angry. I like the beginning. I like his origin, and even though they like kind of like rushed through the origin, because I know it's like the movie can't be that long. I was watching, going, you know what? I wouldn't mind like a TV show or a movie that led into this movie.
Pause. That's not gonna go well. This is still the DC.
I mean, with Rock in charge.
Well, but I don't.
Peacemaker was a good TV show.
Peacemaker was, and I think the way, if you wanted, because this is where Rock's star power could go into play. If you wanted to do something where you got into the Marvel or the Black Adam family, like he had the son Osiris who got killed. He had, I don't know if it was his wife or whatever in the comic books. If he shared the Shazam power as an expansion of his role as a person who is seeking to be a hero and not a despot, then I would watch that show. I absolutely would, because The Rock is a charismatic star. His little female love interest / whatever is cool, and the little boy who is the third leg of the movie is also a good and enjoyable person to watch. They did a really good job. As I walked in there, because Ryan was talking cash shit about how few people were in his theater, and I was walking in with the expectation I was gonna love the movie. And as I was watching the opening, I was like, what are these critics talking about? I don't understand why they're so pissed off. I was like, okay, this is a very good way to kick off a movie. You've got them breaking into a tomb. You've got some Tomb Raider shit. She jumps, she grabs the crown, she slides down, she realizes what she needs to do. She says Shazam. He breaks out, and then immediately you're electrifying the shit out of somebody, and then he gets shot 45,000 times, and he zips around the room faster than the eye can see, killing motherfuckers. What is wrong with this? I didn't understand it. And then they get into the whole background of the origin story, and they take us to the past, and the guy with the bad teeth trying to be in the meteorite and all this shit. And then they get the Rockefeller diamond shout out from all the enslaved people. And I was like,
The Rock was in the building.
Yeah, The Rock was in the building. I was like, what are they complaining about right now? I really didn't understand it. And even, they very deftly and didn't even deal with it, but he was speaking Kondak, right? And all of a sudden, the next after he gets the little stitches in his body, and then the next thing he wakes up and he's speaking perfect English. Now, one of those gods in the Shazam for him, I'm sure, is a god of wisdom. So he just absorbed it, and that's fine.
But that's how it's supposed to be. We because we didn't see Shazam do that. That was Shazam's fault for not using all the powers. Black Adam, Teth Adam always has.
Well, and that's the thing. I was completely fine with it, but he basically was Hobbs in that moment. And the one thing that made him better than Hobbs is that he didn't talk nearly as much, which is fine because he's not there to act. He's there to punch the shit out of people, throw special effects lightning, and say one-liners. He is the perfect Schwarzenegger in that he can deliver a one-liner and not sound like an idiot doing it. And I loved how he took this movie. We have a guest, by the way, who said that it was a very weak villain. James Wright, thank you. However, when you think about it, The Rock was the villain for most of the movie.
He was fighting himself, basically.
He was fighting himself.
Yes.
And so then when he turns around and they have that very excellent reveal of the switch up on all of that, I was like, okay, I am here for this.
Speaking of doing a great job, you guys did an excellent job of not letting me finish my point. So I'm going to continue. Thank you. Anyway, I love that he was trying to get his own little catchphrase. That was funny. And he kept on fucking it up.
Yeah, that was
like the kid's like, no, you say it first, then you kill them. That was hilarious. I loved Dr. Fate. I thought that Pierce Brosnan was born to play that role. I thought he was the glue of the whole fucking movie. Adam Smasher to me was funny, and let's not forget that Fonz is in this movie. Is his uncle. That is hilarious. Just the action scenes were great. I'm not too familiar with Carter Hall, but they kept him very, very strong. Like he was going toe to toe with Black Adam, and those great and the fights were amazing. My only little critique is like, the girl with the wind powers and Adam Smasher. They joined the Justice Society, and then bam, they're going off on their first mission. I would like to have seen them be a group before all this happened. Just a small critique, but other than that, it was a wild ride. I enjoyed it. It wasn't great, but it was good. The end credit scene was amazing. I knew it was coming.
Right. That was the biggest disappointment.
Yeah, that was my only disappointment because I knew it was going to happen. But other than that, man, it was a wild ride. I had a good time.
Yeah,
the Atom Smasher and the Cyclone, them being dropped in, that gave me kind of the vibe of Justice League United. I don't know if you ever watched the animated series, but they had a bunch of on-call heroes that they would just say, who were just on call, like, what, we're beaming down Vigilante and Stargirl, and you guys are going to handle this mission out of nowhere.
Exactly.
Right. Stuff like that. So it's like I wasn't mad at that.
I do think that it was better. James Wright asked the question, do we think it's better than Shazam? Yeah, I think it is. It's an adult movie. Shazam to me was like Power Rangers equivalent, and with a couple, highlights that wasn't as Power Ranger-y. But I did think that this movie was a lot better. But like I said, I think that the bigger criticisms that I've seen that people don't necessarily like is how much it's a hodgepodge of all these other popular movies, what all these other things have done well put in together. But at the same token, I don't care.
How can you be mad at that though?
Like I don't care.
It's like that's a weird thing for fandom. We keep saying, "Hey DC, fucking Marvel is over there showing you how to do it. Why not just do it?" And then they do it, and people are like, "Well, I'm mad that they did it like Marvel." What are y'all doing?
People are stupid.
This was the most Marvel of any of the DC movies,
absolutely,
for a number of reasons, and not the least of which is that rather than try to go full tilt on the humor like they did in Shazam or like they did in the Suicide Squad, they inserted little bits. You had the stuff with Dr. Fate and Shazam, the stuff with Dr. Fate and Hawkman. Little moments, not guffaw. You had Atom Smasher do little stupid things you would expect a new hero to fuck up with. Oh, I'm sorry, was that expensive? You know, that sort of stuff. And it was just the right amount.
Exactly.
Without going into Thor, Love and Thunder. Trying to figure out how every 5 seconds you can make a laugh. I do agree, and I put this in our chat, that it's a better movie than Love and Thunder.
Easily.
By a lot. And the thing I like about this in comparison to Shazam is that Shazam fucked up the villain. Sivana was not a super-powered guy. Sivana was a genius guy who thought up genius traps and genius scientific things, but you just basically made Sivana into Dark Shazam when that's Sabac's job or Ivac's job. And this time, when you decided you needed to, I mean, they teased the person who becomes the villain within the first 5 minutes of the show, so you know he's the bad guy. And so by the time we get to him, it's like, okay. And even though their interactions are relatively short, he's got a good battle sequence with Fate. He's got a good battle sequence with Hawkman and Cyclone and Atom Smasher guy. And then when he finally comes toe-to-toe with Black Adam, there's a very satisfying resolution to that conflict. I'll just put it that way.
Yes.
And I thought everything about this movie, I didn't mind the two new characters that were dropped in, because basically you needed Hawkman in this movie and you needed Fate in this movie, and those two people would not have been enough. So you had to have other people. And since you had to have other people, throw them the fuck in. Don't give them an origin other than the Fonz on the phone and her saying, yeah, nanobites by a jackass. And that's it. Because
the Fonz is all I needed.
You are there to see The Rock. You are there to see Remington Steele. And Hawkman looked great. And that's all you were fucking there for.
It was good. Might I add, this movie is better than some Phase 4 MCU films.
Oh, by a lot.
Better than Eternals.
Eternals.
It's one of the most satisfying films I've seen in a minute. I went in with good expectations and they were met. I wasn't like surprised because I am a fan of The Rock films. If you can believe that The Rock can hold a helicopter while also holding on to a truck by a chain, then you can believe The Rock can do anything. So I'm down. I don't care. To me, The Rock is one of those cats. Like, I go to see him do impossible shit and he delivered. But this, I'm like, you've got the superpowers to back it up. You're damn right. You better do it. The only criticism that I had for the film was the heroic moment with the kid in the end, and him bringing about the villagers to fight the zombies. That shit was whack to me.
It was corny. There were some corny moments. It was corny. There were corny moments.
Why.
What was more corny?
I don't care.
What was more corny is like he's escaping the underwater base, whatever, and like I'm like, bruh, that's a long way to get to the top.
A long way to go.
I was like, motherfucker, just say Shazam.
You know
pull
what?
Pull this shit out your mouth and say Shazam.
I had the same critique as it was happening in real time, but when I realized he needed to see his dead son in order to make the decision to become a hero, I forgave it. I hated it while it was happening. I was like, you're supposed to pull it out. No, but I'm saying I knew. I was like, he's being shot. Why isn't he pulling this thing out of his mouth? And then he jumps through the thing, and it's like, why hasn't he pulled it out of his mouth? And I was like,
he didn't know that was going to happen, though. Like,
no, but I'm saying
it needed to happen. Yes, I get what you're saying. Like, but like he didn't know that was going to happen. No, I mean, like I get it. It's a comic book movie. I understand that, but I was just like, I'm watching. I'm like, dude, motherfucker, pull the shit out your mouth and say Shazam.
I was too, until I saw him floating, and I saw the meeting in heaven. And I said, you know what? Fuck it. I'll roll with it. I still don't. It's not the best. It's not the best reality choice.
No, it sure
because
isn't.
He knew he was on his way to kill, to fight for the safety of the entire planet. So he should have. As soon as he came out and Dr. Fate said, say the name. It was like he should have been
say my name.
Right. That's what it should have been. But because it's a movie and because The Rock wanted us to see his redemption arc, and that was the only way to do the redemption arc because he had to have it when he was still mortal.
You had to have it.
Powers.
You had to have it. Yes.
It worked for me because guess what? We all knew he was going to get to Sabak and kill Sabak anyway. So it's like, big shocker, he wins. It's fucking Black Adam. So in the overall scheme of things, that wasn't as big a thing. And to your point, Twala, about, yeah, it was corny that he says we're all heroes, blah, blah, blah. But that's what sets him up to get powers in the next movie to me.
I got you.
Because now he's a hero because they made a conspicuous moment of saying, you're a hero, tight, extreme close up on the innocent looking boy's face, so it's clear where they were trying to go with that. I just, as a movie goes, I have to say, based on the trailers, I had high expectations.
Really?
And I did because I saw that trailer. I said, this motherfucker looks badass. And this really looks like this movie is going to be good. I didn't know how Hawkman was going to be used. Like you thought, Twitch, Master McBain. I said, Hawkeye's going to get his fucking ass handed to him.
That's what I thought.
By Black Adam. And they didn't. And Aldous Hodge, I thought did a good job.
But you know what? If he would have, that would have betrayed the character.
No, absolutely. I mean,
if he would have had his ass handed to him, I would have been totally insanely disappointed. I'm like, Hawkman is a badass who jumps in every fucking fight, ready to go. He is preternaturally strong because he's Thanagarian. He has gotten into fights with Superman. He's gotten into fights with the biggest, baddest, and he doesn't give a fuck. So by having him with that attitude and that swagger, I'm like, man, go ahead with your badass, dude.
Oh no, it worked. It absolutely worked.
I didn't hate it at all. I just thought that since like Black Adam is basically as strong as Superman, I figured the fight wouldn't last that long. I mean, that's all I'm saying.
So James is asking another question, and I do have an answer. We talked about that in the chat. James says, is the Justice League on vacation while this is going on? So my answer to that is what Amanda Waller basically provided, which is Kahndaq is off limits for some reason. Whatever her name is, Adriana said the same thing. How come you're just coming in now? Intergang has been. So I don't know if Waller didn't want to ruffle feathers with Intergang. She's always got 6 different levels of confusing bullshit going on.
Remember, Kahndaq in the comics, Kahndaq in the cartoons was ruled by Queen Bee. And was always in a battle with Bialia. And it was its own island nation where it's like, you don't fuck with us. We are an insane superpower. We are just untouchable. So it's almost like even stepping foot on there. That's why like you would send the Suicide Squad there because it's like, if they all die, so what? But you can't, even Batman at a certain point in time with the comments said, look, the Justice League does not go there. And I believe it was in the Outlaws, where he was like, but you all can. And I forgot who they were trying to rescue. But so to me, that was one of those like, like you guys were really true to a lot of DC character storylines. You didn't have to make it page by page, but you did a great job of exposing us to these characters.
But they also tried to make this a political statement of you all left us. And so you allowed outside influence to kind of come in and tear us apart. We're not free. And so clearly this was becoming a political statement that, DC was trying to make in regards to in regards to relationship with the Middle East. And they want their own hero, their own freedom. And so I can understand this banter where the Justice League is not on vacation. It is that it has been left alone, and they have allowed it to be left alone and asunder unless there's other larger threats that can kind of come in.
Yeah, Intergang was a substitute proxy for Queen Bee in this movie.
I think
representing an existential
I think
threat.
possibly this movie was supposed to come out after Flashpoint, and Flashpoint changed a few things. For instance, like I don't know why Can we say the what happened in the end credit scene? Can we say it now?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I don't know why, like Superman will be working with Waller. By the way, Superman's in the movie, folks.
Yeah, Superman. Henry
Back,
Cavill with his full face, not in shadow, fuck you Shazam, and not in shadow, fuck you Peacemaker. Henry Cavill's face with speaking lines and color accurate suit for the first
clean shaven too, with no fucking CGI lip. No CGI lip, son. He's there, babe. He back.
Well, speaking of impressive figures not of this planet, I'm going to do a hard segue into this next segment because Tawala needs to bounce. Oh, I got to move because, I'm going to move anyway.
Better get that light back on.
Yeah, I got to get the light back on. So, a long time ago.
A galaxy far, far away?
No, in a web browser far, far away.
Okay.
I actually made a purchase from HasLabs. It was a very big, their largest project that they've ever done. And I have to say, I'm really appreciating my OBS bot tiny camera that is following my body right now. That's pretty sweet, isn't it? So what it was
dope.
Isn't it though? But you know, iPads do that now.
Yes, they do. So this is the largest action figure, and this is an action figure, not a little mini statue. It is fully articulated legs and arms and even fingers. It is the largest action figure ever produced. And I have to say they double packed it, which is very nice. And so I'm going to try to tilt this so I can slide it out. Which one is the top? Okay. So this is...
I'm sitting here trying to get a better view like I'm in the room with you.
I know. Be careful, Tom.
Don't throw your back out.
No, I got... Oh, here we go. Here we go. So this is the Marvel Legends Galactus action figure. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Okay.
Oh my God.
Stay on target. Stay on target. Oh, that's the.
Yeah, there you go.
It does feel like an iPhone release.
Flip it, daddy.
So this is.
That is sick.
This is the box of the Galactus.
Wow.
So because I know everybody wants to actually see the thing.
Wow.
That's so big.
That's what she said. Too slow, Ryan.
I was waiting for somebody else to say it.
Yeah.
Oh, the other thing about this, which is really extra cool, is that it came with stretch goals. And each of the stretch goals, the first stretch goals were a different herald. So the very first stretch goal was that you get a Silver Surfer, a regular size Silver Surfer. Then the next stretch goal was you get Frankie Ray, who is Nova. All right. There she is right there. And then you got Terrax.
We can't see that.
Terrax is at the bottom.
Oh.
And maybe you only got those. Oh, Morg, not Terrax, Morg. And then you got an alternate head. Here's some packing stuff. You got an alternate head for Galactus. Yeah, it's Galactus when Doom took the power of Galactus. So
there's nothing wrong with more head.
Oh boy. Okay, so here is the packing.
Oh, that's nice. That is very, very nice.
Okay. So
wow.
You can see the there you go. So there's Morg. There's Frankie.
That is nice.
And
dope.
Silver Surfer is here. Silver Surfer has 4 different hands.
Okay.
I'm going the wrong way.
Yeah.
Okay.
There we go.
So Silver Surfer has 4 different hands, and he has the power cosmic. Okay. Now I gotta. All of this plastic. So here's since it's separate. Wow, this is bigger. This is the Doom head.
Oh, that's dope. Very nice.
The cloak is soft. The cloak isn't rigid for that. And here, little arm
styrofoam.
piece.
Yes.
Styrofoam insert part 2. Oh, okay, so I'm just gonna lift this.
Oh man.
Okay, so
nice.
That is gorgeous.
Here's the other last little styrofoam for the feet.
Look at that.
And here he comes.
Oh, that is nice.
Oh,
that's phenomenal.
So I'm gonna zoom. I'm gonna zoom out so we can see more of him. There you go. So there he is. Now he's not complete, but let's see if I can activate some. I know there's a battery
because his chest lights up and everything, right?
His chest lights up. His eyes light up. These gems, all of this, light up. But I've got to install the battery. So hold on. He will stand up on his own. He's a big boy. He's like, yeah, come fuck with me, Chucky. Your whole ass.
I know there's a whole new Chucky series coming out, isn't it?
Yeah, and his girlfriend Megan.
Megan Thee Stallion?
Megan the freak show crazy robot girl. Okay, so this
doing her dance.
Do your dance quick, mama. Okay, so this is side helmet horn piece 1. Side helmet horn piece. Oh wait, maybe it should be this side. Let's see.
That look right. Oh no, I'm not in there.
Oh no, nope, that's definitely right because it goes all the way in on that side. So there you go. Clickety clack.
Wow.
This is Galan.
Wow.
He's big.
That is the most epic HasLab that they've ever done.
Look at these fingers, bro. Look at the articulation in the fingers.
That is definitely not a cloud. Like in Fantastic Four.
Not a cloud. And each the same points of articulation that you have in the human hand in terms of joints, he has the same level of articulation in his hand. And the wrist the wrist turns completely above. So each of these little fingers has 3 different articulatable segments. It's pretty amazing. And he also, because both of the hands are fully articulatable, and so he also, and the fingers, holy shit, the fingers can rotate. So he's double jointed too. He's a double jointed cosmic demigod.
Can't do the rock symbol like this.
Well,
can't do that.
He could rotate his hands.
What can he do with his eyebrows? Can he raise one?
His eyebrows are not visible because they're covered by his mask. And I think what you're supposed to do, I think you can take the head off and that's where the batteries are. I think that's the way it's supposed to work. Something like that. But here he is, and here is the hands are designed.
Now, he can hold the Silver Surfer like on his board, right?
He can hold the Silver Surfer in this thing, which is his little power cosmic flourish. And then Silver Surfer's board. Silver Surfer's board can slide into this.
Oh, it's nice.
Like this. I guess it's basically just supposed to balance like that.
Yeah.
And then my good friend Norin Rad over here Actually, I'm not even gonna mess with Norrin Rad. I'm gonna give you this last little piece, because in addition to this very taciturn mouth that he has, Galactus also has. I need to go to the dentist.
Damn, what that mouth do?
He's really angry, and there's also another face. It's not just the Doom face. There's also, I think, a Deathbringer. I think it's on the other side of this face. I think there's a bigger face piece in here somewhere. But the whole point is that this is Galactus.
Tom, that is
the size of a small baby.
It's actually the size of quite a large baby. I don't think I've ever seen a baby come out of a womb this big.
I know, it looks like a 2- and 3-year-old.
This is a toddler size toy, and because of the scale, this is the most comic accurate representation of any character I think has probably been produced ever.
Yeah.
Just because there's so many details that can be put in a figure of this size. It's absolutely phenomenal. Now, this
question,
is not.
Tom.
Yes, go ahead.
Is Galactus bigger than the HasLab Sentinel? Do you know?
I do believe he is, just owing to the fact that when they marketed him, he was marketed as the biggest. And of course, Galactus would be bigger than a Sentinel, because a Sentinel was basically only about twice the height of a human. Whereas if you compare Frankie Ray, who I'm pulling out, Frankie is just about as tall as Galactus's head. So he's many orders. He's many orders. He's about 5 people tall, I would say.
Got you. And that, I mean, look, that makes beyond good sense that they would actually, if you're going to do a HasLab and charge what you were charging, you have to make this as accurate as you possibly can, considering how the entire Marvel Legend line has been to scale. You can't have a 24-inch Galactus just because you want to save on plastic. No.
And this is her Cosmic Flame, which is very nicely done and articulated, hand painted. She also has 4 different hands. Wow. Morg only has an axe. He doesn't have any extra hand. But this definitely was not. It was not inexpensive. But in the overall scheme of things, I think they blew through what their expectations were in terms of sales, which is why we got absolutely all of the targets met in terms of finality. So it definitely wasn't cheap, but I think this is arguably the most impressive collectible I have ever owned.
It looks like it.
And so to me, it was worth it. I had the money. I could afford it. And so I bought it. And I've been like champing at the bit, waiting for this effing thing to come. And so when it finally came, I saw a FedEx notification yesterday.
I wish the whatchamacallit would do that. I wish that the Ghost Rider, the Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider, that they weren't trying to charge an arm and a leg for something. When you compare it to this is worth what they are asking for that. This is worth every dollar. That one is like, yo, it's a really nice car and figure, but nah, homie.
That's it.
Not even with Mephisto.
No, it's not worth it. I don't think the Robbie Reyes is in the way that this one clearly is. Says this is that's a trigger point. But I've got to get to you take off the top. Oh, I see. The panel to take off is at the top of the head. Oh, look at that. It pops right off. And these are lit up too. There are little LEDs that shine some blue through there. And then in the top of the head is the cavity where you put the batteries. And I think it takes 2 AAA batteries to trigger all of the different little sound effects and stuff. So I'm very happy. It is super well worth it. Once again, I'll give one last go before Tuala has to bounce. This is the full-size Galactus and all of his precursor to the 616 universe glory. An epic,
Look,
epic.
I'm happy I was here. I'm happy I was here to see this. But like, because we were going back and forth in the thread about it, and by the time I decided to jump, shit was gone. Tom was like, "All right, I got mine. I'm
Right.
all in."
Yeah, no, I got in.
You're not going to find this anywhere. You're not going to find this in stores. You cannot go on Hasbro
HasLab, Pulse,
HasLab.
whatever.
You can't find it. You can't go on Hasbro Pulse, find it. It's not available. Once these HasLabs are gone, they're gone. That's it. This is a limited edition Franklin Mint style Marvel Legends figure, and anyone who owns this, consider yourselves among the lucky ones. As a lifetime collector of action figures, fuck you, you thieving son of a bitch. You broke into my storage unit and stole all my shit. I hope you are burning in a roasting hell, but I digress. This right here is what makes collecting worth it. This is stellar.
So
this
here it is. I found it.
Yeah, look at this.
This is the Galactus zombie insert.
Yo,
for Marvel Zombies.
Oh,
so we've got I need to go to the dentist Galactus, a Galactus Sneer. We have Taciturn Galactus, and we have Marvel Zombies Galactus, and we have Doom Galactus. So Tuala,
wow.
I want you to enjoy the fullness. So I need you to give me 45 seconds so I can get batteries and you can see this motherfucker light up. Can you give me 45 seconds? All right, I'll be right back.
I want to see him light up. I'm saying like right now, I'm like, I'm not even just, I'm happy that
it looks so expensive.
Right.
Oh no.
That's all I need is how much did this cost?
That's some shit you get when kids are around. You're like, hey, don't even fucking look at this goddamn thing. Don't look at it. Don't even think about touching this thing.
It's staying at the office for sure.
Look.
Oh my god.
Tom is fortunate because his kids are grown and they would know better than to come around this thing. Because I believe the final price was, I don't know, man. I mean, at least 700, Tom?
Damn.
Shit.
Oh, well, I mean, it could be.
I thought it was more.
On target.
I thought it was more too.
It's still a lot.
No. I mean, look.
Tom, are we talking 700?
No. $437 out the door.
That's not bad.
That's not too bad. I've heard worse.
That's not bad. Okay, so that's about what is going right now. If you're trying to find it, it's going to hit you
$700 on eBay.
Yeah, easy. Yeah. So yeah.
Okay, so let's see if.
Oh yeah, there you go. Oh, don't eat my planet! Don't eat my planet,
dude. Tom.
So the eyes light up.
Wow.
These gems light up. These little accents, even in his side pieces. I say that in the least.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Way as possible. Mm-hmm. The gauntlets light up. So when you do that, I didn't know if he was supposed to make noises. He certainly lights up pretty well. Maybe there's a separate battery compartment for other stuff, because maybe I need to put this. Maybe I need to put this on again. Okay, so now you're all together, Galan.
Because you're right, Tuala. Let that be in my house. With my son.
Oh my god.
Yeah, my son, my eldest son, saw it, and he was like, Galactus, And I was like, yeah. He said, where are you going to put that? I said, maybe I'm going to keep it at my office.
Yeah.
Far away from you.
Yeah, exactly. So this is what Galactus, this is what he do. It's
stellar.
amazing. It's amazing collectible. It absolutely is. I think you can just pull the insert off.
That doesn't look good.
No. He looks like maybe he's from the Mississippi version of the galaxy. Okay, so there's there's Zombie Galactus.
Nice.
And take out Zombie, World War Z Galactus, and then we're gonna put in How Dare You Defy Me, My Herald Galactus, which is pissed off Galactus.
Tom always does the best unwrappings. Because on his other...
Oh, look at, he's just flashing like crazy. He's real pissed.
Because he's all in his mouth. That's
he's
why.
all thorough.
Oh, there it is. It's not clamping in. There we go. Push in. There you go. There he is. Kneel before Zod. Okay, so this is Galactus. As Tawala has implied, it's already going $300 over retail on eBay. I would be very surprised if it didn't get to be a lot more than that.
Yeah, especially now that they're starting to roll out and they're starting.
Now that they're out, that's the thing.
Houses,
and it's still a very limited quantity. No matter the fact that people are finally getting them now, the fact that they're real is going to drive the demand, especially when people see how impressive they are and what they can actually do. It's going to escalate because the scarcity of this is something. Oh, look at look at this thing.
Strong pimp hand.
Yeah, dude. He can. Yeah. This is the grasping fist. It doesn't rotate.
I wouldn't expect it to go up too high on the shoulder. I didn't expect the shoulder joint to be too high.
Right.
Just because of the armor.
Yeah, the armor is a constraint. But this is super
but that's been with every Galactus they've tried to put out. That's always been the limit. So that look, this to me it's still Galactus doesn't have to do much. He's just fucking Galactus.
There we go. That's a slightly better angle. So this is it, folks. I'm super glad we were able to do this unboxing. There's no other place that I would rather have. Oh, you know what I probably should have done while I was doing this? Let me just take it full screen so it's easier for people to see. Oops, there we go. So here he is in all his full screen glory. There's Galactus.
Barely even fits in the frame.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. It's crazy. That's it.
That's more than it. That is the it.
It's perfect for episode 1075. I'll say that.
Damn right.
I was so glad that the synchronicity happened because when I saw the FedEx thing, I was like, "What am I getting from FedEx? I don't remember ordering anything." And then it said signature required, and I was like, "Signature required? That
you need a signature for that? Oh yes."
And the guy came, and I heard it, and I said, "Oh, this is the FedEx." And when I opened the door, and that box was there, and I saw Galactus, I shrieked. I did. I'm not afraid to admit it. I shrieked like a child, and he was like,
"Look, it's okay. It's okay."
And I was like, "Oh my God!" And he was like, "What's your name again?" I said, "Tom Cunningham." And he said, "Okay." So yeah, I've been waiting for this for a long time. Hasbro, Pulse Labs, you've restored my faith because Mo said it. Mo was like, "I'm not buying any speculative shit ever again." Because it took us a year and a half to get our damn center cams. But Mo, this right here, this is the real deal, bro. This is undoubtedly, unreservedly the real deal. This is my biggest kid moment that I have had in a long while. This is something to be happy about.
Wow.
It really is.
Wow.
So. Mo,
Man, thank you for sharing that with us today, Tom.
Yeah, bro, absolutely.
It is beyond appreciated, man. I absolutely love this moment, man. This is, this is why I'm a Toys R Us kid for life. Shit like this, because this is, you grow up and you want this. This goes from the old school giant plastic robots whose fists would fly off to like, next level articulation, craftsmanship, design, everything about this. Even the color scheme is right on this.
You're so stupid.
The multiple heads. I mean, look, this shit is fly. Look at that.
Yeah,
Look at
yeah.
that.
This is a toddler, bro.
Yeah, it is.
Chucky could
Yeah,
never. I wish Chucky would try to come for my Galactus. Galactus would.
You're so silly.
Get your ass. I'm gonna put this box right here in frame. So there he is. So it's on UT to close us out.
Man, it has been a absolutely stellar evening. Much love to all of you who have been riding with us from day one. Shouts out to my brother Dave Bethune. We look forward to you coming on, good sir. Much love to you and speedy recovery. My love to all of you. The legendary Friday nights for holding it down with us. Mo, wish you could have been here. Considine forever a member of the Nerd crew. And with that, my brother Anthony, take us out, good sir.
Good news, everybody.
Dr. Liz.
Force is always necessary.
Yeah, man. McBain.
Tell him the man in black sent you.
Cunningham.
Where is my Devourer of World suit?
He's a kid in the candy store.
I know, he looks.
Excelsior!
One last shot of G-Man. Do, 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 do. I'm loving it.